Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the Oasis Solutions Sage Intacct User Group meeting, sponsored by our great partners, Bill and Velixo. We're happy you took the time out of your day to join us. We hope there's great value to be exchanged here. We got a really cool group of folks joining us with a lot of cool content, which I'll talk to in just a moment. First, there are a few housekeeping items, including, before I go to the next slide, an introduction of myself. Patrick Johnson is my name. I'm a partner and chief operating officer at Oasis Solutions. I've been with Oasis around 10 years. It'll be 10 years this December, and will mark my 21st year in the ERP space, and specifically in the Sage space. So super proud and happy of that. Super proud of our team who's joined today. So thanks to them. We'll see their pictures in just a minute. So first, to kick off, some housekeeping items. We're going to limit the Q&A to the end. And Garen Stout, our Client Success Manager, Director of Client Success, will facilitate that at the end of her section, at the end of the meeting, or offline. You know, if you were to send something across in chat, we would capture that and follow up with you. But Falana is watching the chat closely for Q&A questions that we can bring the proper resource to address at the end. The polls, we'll have polls happening on and off throughout the call today. Between each segment, please participate. These are required for your CPE credit. And we're also giving away an Oasis Solutions logoed speaker today to those. So to those who are participatory in our polls today. So super excited about the giveaway. We'll announce all that via email. That's a JBL speaker. It's pretty cool. I have seen it. I already mentioned the functionality with the chat. So, you know, hit us up if there are technical issues, or if you can't hear me, or if the screen is lagging, we'll need to try to address those. So make sure you stay in touch with us via chat. And for CPE, of course, to earn them, you must attend the full session, respond to all 4 polls, and complete the end survey. Okay, I think that's housekeeping. I think that's a wrap for that. I'll give just a second. If I missed anything, Falana, are we good to go? You can just chat me if you want to.
Good to go.
I'm assuming we're good to go. Great, thank you for that. Okay, so today's agenda, you all. I'm going to say a few things about our State of the Union and Oasis Solutions a little bit. Following me is Jeff Stout, who's our Sage Intacct Practice Manager. He also leads our Sage 100 practice, and he'll talk to Sage Copilot and AI, some exciting things happening in the Sage world. Following that, we'll have Bradley and Brad from Bill, and they'll talk about how Bill and Sage Intacct work together to bring value, efficiency, and power to the suite. So looking forward to hearing that content and seeing those slides and hearing their voices. Then to Jordan Hagan, of course, on our Sage team, to talk through dashboard functionality. Love that piece. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. Followed closely by Christian from Velixo, who will talk to Excel-based reporting, and leveraging their tools against the Intacct platform and the databases. So looking forward to that as well. And then finally, Garen Stout will wrap things up, talking about how to optimize your system and the best way to do that, and the best way to engage Oasis to do that. So we're excited for her too. Additionally, she will handle Q&A at the end, and we'll just collect questions as they come in. I'll be watching the chat. So that's our agenda. It's going to be awesome. So let's get cracking. I'll start by showing you our Sage team. Our partners are here as well, in the upper left. But this is a seasoned group of professionals who I've been on the road with. I've been in front of clients with them. I've worked through issues with each and every one of them. We face challenges together and solve problems for years and years for our awesome client base. I'm looking at personal mentors here. I'm looking at people who've coached me up along my journey at Oasis. I'm looking at folks who I've helped coach up and inspire. It's a great group of folks. And we're trying to cover all the bases to make sure our clients are well taken care of. So this is our team. And I'm super proud of it to be a part of this group. I think Lisa Brewer is on this call. I don't know how many other folks. So Jordan, you'll see Jordan Hagan later. But I believe Lisa Brewer is on this. Yes, she is. Lisa is on the call here. She came in from North Carolina. She's sitting in our office today. So super happy she's with us. Thanks for coming in, Lisa. Okay, this is our team. This is who we bring to the battle. And I'm super proud. Next. I thought I would go into a few things about Oasis just to give you an idea of how we operate. It's kind of a look behind the curtain a little bit. There are certain accolades that you see down the right side that a lot of times we'll talk to in these calls, but I think it's more important to talk to the why behind those things and the how behind those great accolades that we get. Two of which jump to mind. It's the best places to work and the Fast 50. Those are both key outcomes of some of the very important work we do behind the scenes at Oasis. We live by our core purpose. Just to give you a glance about Oasis, a little bit of a deeper glance into Oasis, our core purpose to help our customers and team members flourish. Nothing survives the core purpose, the scrutiny of the core purpose at Oasis, and it shapes how we approach services, engaging our customers, our relationship building, all those things. Our values are super important to us. Transparency, gratitude, respect, customer centricity, innovative problem solving, and commitment are all things that are of Oasis's team, and they always have been. These things inform how we treat each other internally and how we communicate with each other and with our clients and our partners. Super important. We look for examples of our core values in play every month at our company meeting, which we'll do tomorrow afternoon, and we recognize that. So another very key important item. Our approach to supporting our customers. We want to provide a holistic approach of support to our customers, from the initial sales cycle all the way to a maturing product, looking to expand, looking to migrate, looking to optimize. We'll talk to how you can optimize your existing system today a little bit. Garen will talk us through that, but we're interested in a long-term lifetime of your business relationship, and it informs all of our tactics. That long-term relationship is why Oasis exists today, over 30 years. So super proud of our approach, and it's never changed. This has been a core principle of ours since day one. Finally, our culture. We're growth-oriented. We're not sitting around. We're looking for ways to grow this organization, grow our value to our client base, to our prospects, to our community, as seen in our best places to work and our Fast 50 accomplishments. We're looking to get out in this community and grow Oasis's influence in our service base. And in the act of doing that, creating meaningful careers with clear trajectory. We heard this in our last company meeting, from feedback, valuable feedback we get from the best places to work surveys, that we can do better at creating clearer and more structured trajectories for people's careers. Of course, we wouldn't hire anybody if we didn't want them to retire from here. So that's really, really important to get done. So that also fuels our culture. So all of these things together have blended together to create an awesome culture at Oasis Solutions, and which is ultimately the fire that drives us forward. So that's Oasis behind the scenes. Those are the things that are important to us as we engage in serving you, our customers, and as we go to market to expand our business and innovate. So that's Oasis. I'll stop talking there. Let's get cracking a little bit on today's focus. We're going to talk about today AI, super important. It's already around us, and I'm sure that each person on this call is thinking about AI in some way, or they should be, and that they're formulating strategies in their organizations and even down to their desk on how we can leverage AI. AI will be a strategic foundational element of our vision at Oasis moving forward. We see it as a tool that we can leverage for efficiency, productivity, analysis, reporting, and we're just at the beginning, and it's already so powerful. So we're excited that its value is starting to be realized, and we feel like we've got to be on the front end of it, and we hope that our clients do too. It's coming to them. It's coming to our client base through our products. As I said a second ago, the holistic approach of AI, we believe it can be leveraged at every level of business, from everyday tactical operations at the desk to the departmental level of data analysis and strategy building, and then at the vision level at leadership, and in our outbound servicing, marketing. Oasis intends to leverage that in every place we can, including in the products that we sell and support. Our vendors are busy implementing and integrating AI into their offerings. And so by extension, we need to be experts, and become the global leader in AI-assisted consulting. I skipped to the bottom there, but I need to go back up one more. Security. I can't emphasize this enough. There's enormous power with artificial intelligence, but with it comes some level of risk. It says great here, a great risk here on my slide for emphasis, but it can be mitigated properly with the right strategy and the right support from partners. And so I would encourage everyone to take a look at that, and don't sidestep AI, but engage it, understand its limitations, understand its risks, understand its value, and mitigate the risk the best way you can. And I'm open to chat with anybody about that. Create a meeting with me. You can send a text or send a chat into the chat here. I'm happy to chat with anybody about AI and how it can enhance your business. As I said a second ago, and I'll wrap this in just a minute, Oasis aims to be the global leader. It says world here. Aaron Rosenberg, our CEO, corrected me earlier. It is the global leader in AI-assisted ERP consulting. So we're excited to be on that voyage together. We aspire to this, which means we'll never stop pushing towards it. And likely we'll never actually get to the destination, because this is flying. It is expanding and developing faster than we can believe. So that is super exciting, and it's shaping the way Oasis is going to market. Okay, enough of that. But that's today's focus. A lot of AI talk today. The last thing I would leave you with is, what is your company's strategy with AI? Many companies will make the choice to allow the applications they work with to push AI into their business. I would encourage an active, proactive approach to incorporating AI into your business, as Oasis feels that those that understand how to leverage and utilize AI will have the greatest opportunity for success and growth, not just in our industry or our markets, but in any market. So again, I'm happy to chat through that with anybody. Okay, I think I've probably burned through my time here. Take a look at your own company strategy and get cracking on setting up an internal strategy. I'm going to give it up now to Jeff Stout, Sage Practice Manager, Executive Leader at Oasis, and to take his piece here on Sage Copilot. It's all you. Thank you.
Thanks. Can I just get a maybe audio, video? Okay, seeing the screen all right? What we have out there? Good. Appreciate that. Thanks, Patrick. Again, Jeff Stout, the practice manager here at Oasis. I've been at Oasis about 6.5 years now. I've been in the ERP space a lot longer than that. Actually started in ERP in 1996. And if you are looking at my picture here and my video, you're wondering, how could that have happened when he started? Maybe when he was only 11 or 12 years old. That is about the time that I started. So yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of the continuing theme here of AI and what Sage's strategy is with AI and their Copilot product. And I'm going to go through this with a few slides at the start here, just so that we can all kind of get an alignment of what their strategy and their vision is. And then I'm going to get into the application, and we'll show a few things that are available right now to users as far as AI is concerned. I like to put this first slide up here, the Sage, their vision. And this is what drives, these are kind of the main tenets that drive their AI direction. Okay. If any of y'all have been lucky enough to go to one of the Sage customer conferences, you've probably heard Aaron Harris, their CTO, speak. And Aaron Harris is big in the AI space and leads the AI charge at Sage. And this is something that he talks a lot about. And so what does this really mean? I mean, if we think about accountants, I mean, we've for our history, and I am an accountant by trade, and in our history, you know, we've been locked into different cycles in accounting. So those cycles are things like a monthly close. That cycle may be an annual audit. Cycle may be a quarterly tax filing, maybe an inventory cycle count. Whatever it is, but we're locked into different cycles. And what happens is those lead to really kind of like that point in time, after the fact, maybe visibility to your information. So if we take a look at this, the vision of Sage and with Sage Intacct is a continuous process, continuous accounting. So what does that mean? Well, eliminate the close. Okay, that there's a close process happening all the time. There's continuing assurance that might mean eliminating an audit. I don't know that we'll ever eliminate audits, but it's always making sure that our information is accurate and we're in compliance. And then a continuous process of insights that the information that we're looking at is always up to date. Okay, so that we can make informed and real-time decisions on the information that we're looking at. So I think it's important to kind of keep this in mind if we think about what the strategy behind Sage is with their AI approach. And so what does this lead to? Well, it leads to four things, four kind of building blocks, if you will. One I've kind of already mentioned is one, that smoother, faster close. Okay, that continuous accounting process. The ability to spot opportunities and problems early, right? So we want to have continuous access to good information that's going to be able to provide us real-time data, boost efficiency and save time, the functionality that allows us to do some of that. And then the ability to get instant answers. Again, that real-time decision-making. So how does that play out? Okay. There's certain tools, if you will, that have been developed and implemented within Sage Intacct that lead to each of these pieces. So smoother, faster close. Sage has released their close automation piece. Close automation is available right now in Sage Intacct. Okay. There's additional functionality being developed for close automation that's coming out in phase releases, but the initial release of close automation is available today. All right. The building block of boosting efficiency and saving time, there's automation tools like AP automation, intelligent time if you're using the Sage time and expense functionality, different levels of automation that are going to take away some of the manual work that your team is doing and automate that functionality. The ability to spot opportunities and problems earlier. Some of this information, again, is already available right now. Outlier detection that does a 2-year look back on your data and will tell you proactively if it sees issues, maybe an account's out of whack, right? Something doesn't look right, it's gonna proactively tell you that information. Some of the things that are upcoming, some of the cash predictions, short-term cash flow models, liquidity models that you'll see that they're planning. And then the ability to get instant answers. Right now, the Sage Copilot help is available in Intacct. I'll show that to you. Maybe some of you have already used that. That's being enhanced to more of an advanced search, because the initial search help is only for product help in the system, right? So how do I do this, or how can I get answers on working with the product? Where the advanced search is gonna be more where you can take a look at your financial data. Okay, ask questions about the data in the system, not just the product, and how-to answers on that. So what is close automation? So the close automation piece, and again, we'll take a look at this so it'll make a little more sense. We've got a nice little graphic there on the right-hand side, but it's going to be a way to automate, maybe create a little bit more structure, around our close process. provide information like in one spot for you. You know, I think when I talk about close with a lot of folks, a lot of people, and it's really across the gamut. Some of my customers or prospects, when we talk to them, say they close in, you know, 1 week, 7 days, something like that. I've got others that say, oh, it's at least 14, 15 days. Others say, man, it might be the end of the month, into the following month before we're able to close. And that close is being managed differently, maybe with spreadsheets, different checklists, maybe emails to other team members to find out if they've got their information done yet before the system can get closed. The close automation piece kind of brings all that together for us in one spot, okay? So the pieces that are available, and then some that are upcoming, you'll see here, variance analysis. This is available today in close automation. We'll take a look at this. And I do want to make sure I say when it's available today, this functionality is subscribed functionality. So it's not like it's just turned on in your system. It is something that would have to be subscribed to, and it's purchased functionality within the application. So so keep that in mind as we go through this. I'll try to make the distinction. The Copilot help is not, it's just there, but some of the close automation pieces and things we're talking about is subscribed functionality. Okay, so variance analysis, it's going to allow us to detect variances between actual and budget. So if you're as the controller or CFO, you're looking at that, or maybe you have department managers that are responsible for a budget, they'll be able to see that information kind of whenever they want. Right, it's not waiting until the end of the month till the financials are published that they have to look at their variances and then kick back to the accounting department and say, hey, this expense was booked wrong. Let's go in and reclass it, right, so that it doesn't ding my budget, right? So that variance analysis is going to give people a little bit of a quicker access to their information. The close assistant that's going to kind of give us that visual view. You saw that on the previous screen, and we'll see it in Intacct. That visual view of where we are in the close process, okay, of what steps we need to take. Subledger reconciliation assistant that's going to notice, hey, there's something out of whack between the AR agent and the general ledger, the AP and the general ledger, and point you in directions to go take a look at that so that you can manage that information. And then some of the things that's coming in a little bit more in the future, checklist notifications, visibility, collaboration. These are things that Sage is doing to put together more of a closed workspace where things can be, tasks can be assigned, collaboration can be done, one screen where you can see where all tasks are being completed from the closed process. So again, I dug into a little bit of this, but that variance analysis is going to allow me to go in and take a look at variances between my actual and my budget, okay, and keep up to date with that, hopefully before a month-end process does come around and financials are being generated. And then again, that close assistant, we'll take a look here where that it's going to provide, this is a great little visual, but we'll see this in Intacct, which can provide a great little visual of what information has been closed, what information still needs to be closed, what areas needs addressed during the actual close process. And then the subledger reconciliation is going to drill into the reconciliation reports. If it determines that there's a difference between hey, a subledger value and your general ledger value, it's going to prompt you on that and then drill back into the reports so that you can go ahead and work on getting that information resolved. And then kind of look, some of the things that they're showing for the future are pretty exciting. The closed workspace, which we have a nice little graphic here. The closed workspace is actually an early adopter process right now. The early adopter is closed, so you couldn't join in on it. But it's an early adopter right now and is set to be released. I'm thinking maybe this quarter or maybe the first quarter of 2026. But again, an area where that we're going to bring a lot of this closed information together, right, in one screen rather than in that one little snapshot that I showed you, but in one screen so that we can assign tasks, we can keep track of progress on information. Okay, and so that's going to include some nice little dashboards to give us a little bit better visibility into the data in Sage Intacct and into that close process. Okay. Now I'm going to take here real quick. Give me just a sec. I'm going to minimize this, and we're going to go into Intacct so I can show a few things that are available, that are available now. So you can kind of see, instead of what we have on slides, we'll see it within the application. Okay. So the first thing that I want to point out, I talked about Sage Copilot. You will see that I have Copilot here on my menu bar. That is subscribed functionality. I am running this in a demo company that we have here, a sales demo company. So I have this subscribed in our demo environment. But I mentioned the Copilot help, and that's where I'm going to start. So if we come over here to help and support, you'll see that I have search help in Copilot right here. Okay. And again, this is available to you all right now. Okay. You probably have access to this. Not sure if you've used it, but what does the Copilot help do? Again, this is product specific help currently. The advanced search capabilities that will be forthcoming is going to allow us to do search help on our data that's in the system. But right now it's limited to product help, but it's natural language search. So if I open that up, it's going to prompt me, and this may be similar if you've used Microsoft Copilot or any other Copilot tools. Hey, welcome to search. What would you like to learn about next? Maybe I want to know how do I set up a vendor, right? I can ask how to set up a vendor, okay? And you'll see it's processing here, and it will come up here in a few seconds, and with information on how that I need to set up a vendor, okay, and walk me through that process, give me links to other help. I could have different items, why is my balance sheet not balancing? Something common sometimes we hear. We could ask these types of questions. But again, the point is that we're able to ask natural language search type questions, okay, to Copilot, and it can come back with that information for us, okay? So if we think about where this functionality would go in the future, this is nice for help within the application. But when we can dig into our data, how nice is that going to be when we can say, hey, show me all customers that have an overdue balance 60 days out. Now, that's something I could put on a dashboard, or I could run a report and see that, but I could also just go in and ask the system and have it generate that information for me as well, right? Okay, so again, the Copilot information, the Copilot help is something that is available right now. All right, so let me close that down and let's go up to Copilot here. Okay, so the Copilot that we have here is our variance analysis and our close assistant. Okay, so if I take a look at this, I'm going to jump down here real quick to the close assistant. I'll start at the bottom, and then I'm going to kind of work my way up. So if I go into the close assistant, I can come in and say, look at that, our server might be down. Let's try that again. Don't know why that came up. But the close assistant is going to walk me through a process of closing my books. Okay. Now, you'll see that in my demo system here, I've got books closed through January 2018. Hopefully your books are not that far back, but this is demo data. So I've got a lot of unclosed periods here. So it's going to recognize what you closed the books through and say, hey, what period are we closing now? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, I'm going to close February of 2018. And I'll say, okay to that. And so it's going to take a look at the close status and tell me things that I need to do and some things that I need to be aware of. Okay. And you'll notice some of these items have little like exclamation points beside them. Okay. So under accounts payable, it says, hey, you need to review unposted bills, right? There's a little icon there that's telling me there's some issue potentially with that. I also need to close the AP system. There's nothing really on AR. I can go in and click on those things, and kind of the same thing as I go down to the different areas of the system. So I could open this up and say, well, let's look at the unposted bills, and there's a bill out there. So maybe if you're doing some approval process or something in the system, or people manually entering things in and things aren't closed, you'll have visibility into that information. The system is going to provide you visibility into that. Okay. Same way, like if I want to take a look at unposted journal entries, right? I could go out if I've got some, monthly entries that I run, for allocations or depreciation or something like that out there. I could take a look at those unposted entries, right? But again, more of a step-by-step streamlined process to help through that close. Now, again, in the future, okay, this information is going to be transferred into that close workspace that's going to allow me to assign tasks, to provide, to see what people are doing, to see status of some of these items as they complete the process. Now, there's also a subledger reconciliation piece here. And so let's take a look at that. I'm going to show this in AR because I have less data, so it should run a little bit quicker. I'm going to take a look at my AR reconciliation, and I am going to drill into one particular location here. I could run this across all of my entities, but I'm going to dig into one and apply that filter. And so that's going to process my AR reconciliation. And you'll see here, it says that it's going to prepare that reconciliation. Once it's completed, I'm going to see that up here in my insights. Okay. Now this does take a little bit to run, maybe 30, 40 seconds for this to process before it generates. But again, and I did filter this down to one particular entity that it's going to process. But the reconciliation that's coming out is going to show me any differences that it finds between my AR balance on the general ledger and then my subledger balance, and then let me drill into some of the reports. Also provide me some feedback on what might be causing those issues. So you'll see now up here in my insights, I have that, and it says there was a variance detected, and I can view that information and see that I do have a variance, okay, between my GL balance and my AR balance. Okay, I could click on that variance. I could run the AR subledger reconciliation report. That's going to take me right to the reconciliation report to start digging in and finding out what the issue may be with my AR reconciliation. Huh. Okay, so it's gonna run here in the and show up in the insights, but that'll take me right to the reconciliation report in Sage Intacct. Okay, so that is the close assistant with the variance, with at least the close assistant through the reconciliation process. Okay, and let's go ahead and open up that reconciliation report. And we'll open that right here. Okay, so we can see where we're the information that we need to take a look at for our reconciliation. All right, now when we go down to a new chat, let's take a look at the variance analysis process. Okay, the budget variance analysis. And so if I come up here to the top item and say show budget variance analysis, Copilot's going to process, and it's going to come up here with my budget variance. Now, the Sage Intacct Copilot, when you subscribe to it, there is a little bit of setup. It's really one screen to set up, but let me explain some of the things you can set up when you do that, and it's around variance analysis. If you have department managers that are responsible for departments, or if you have folks that are responsible for locations set up, you can set it up where that they see their information. So I'm going to scroll up here. Emma, I have her set up to look at location 300. So when I open this up, it's showing location 300, right? So there are a few different setup options that you can do, but the Sage Copilot variance analysis, all this is really made to be used fine by an end user, right? Without assistance from a consultant, right? It's pretty easy, pretty simple process to use. But so you'll see here, and again, some other things you set up. You do set up the account groups that you want to measure against. So I've got a revenue account group, my operating expenses, and my net income, net income here. So you can see the variance that it shows me, where it's got my actual information, budget information, and then variance. I don't have a revenue budget, but then my operating expenses is and my year-to-date amount. I could drill into this amount to see what's behind it. There's some things down here at the bottom I can do, right? Maybe I can say describe the variance, because these are account groups here. But if I say describe the variance, the system's going to come back and tell me where some of those variance amounts come from. So in textual format. So it's going to tell me that, my revenue is way over budget because I don't have budget for my revenue. But even though that my expenses are okay, I can see maybe that, I've got some different information down here. Bank charges, repair, and maintenance exceeded their budget. So maybe that's an area that I need to look at. Now, again, this is information you could find on your own if you ran the report and you drilled into it and you scrolled through each account and account group and open account groups to see where information was. But the system is prompting you, system is prompting you for that information right here. Okay. So just something that's going to make it a little bit more efficient as we go through the process. Now, again, some other things I could do here. I could run a prior period. I could view the financial report. Again, I could drill into information if I wanted to here as well. That would bring up, the dimension balances report to show me, where some of this information is from my actual to budget. So I have that ability then to drill in and dig into the information within Sage Intacct. All right. So what do we take a look at? Let's kind of wrap up here as my time's coming down. Took a look a little bit at the vision of what Sage Intacct has for AI. Okay, what's kind of leading their charge and their charter in AI, and then some of the functionality that they have currently available with their Sage Copilot and the Copilot help, and also the Close Assistant, and then again some of the things that they're coming out with in the future. Okay, look, if you guys are interested in any of the functionality that you've seen, we'd be happy to talk to you again. Some of this is available right now. Some of this is purchased functionality that you have to subscribe to, but would be love to chat with you about it if there's interest. All right, and I stopped share. Falana, do you want to share back? I think we have a poll question.
Yep, it's time for our first poll, and I'm going to go ahead and launch this. So everyone should be able to see it now. Are you actively leveraging AI tools in your day-to-day activities? I can see people starting to answer it right now. Yes, no, and what is AI? Remember to participate in today's polls if you want a chance to win that JBL speaker. You also want to answer the polls if you were looking for a CPA credit for today's user group session. Okay, we look like we're at 85% participation. I'm going to let it go for a few more seconds for anybody who hasn't had a chance to answer. And so far, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has said, what is AI? Which says that you did a pretty good job, Patrick and Jeff, on going over everything so far. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll and share the results. Okay, so it looks like we are at yes for 58%. Everyone, for the most part, is actively leveraging their AI tools in their day-to-day activities, and then no, 42% of people answered. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. And let us move on to our next topic today, which I do believe is Bill.
Yes. Thank you, Falana. Hi, everyone. This is Brad Powell with the Build team, and I have with me my colleague, Brad Amundsen. Don't be confused. It's simple. Just remember Brad. We are both dedicated resources working alongside the Oasis team in our partnership together with their organization. And we appreciate the forum here and definitely everyone's attention. So look forward to bringing everybody up to speed on who is Bill and how we plug into your Sage Intacct environment to bring efficiencies to your back office teams. If you're not familiar with Bill, we are turning the corner soon on our 20th year in business. We are a cloud-based application that helps organizations streamline back office processes, primarily focused in and around your finance applications for accounts payable, accounts receivable, and corporate credit cards with a spend and expense application. My role at Bill is Alliance's partner manager, and I work closely with Sage Direct teams, as well as the supporting groups such as Oasis, to identify opportunities within our joint client base where it makes sense to plug the Bill application into your Sage Intacct environment. I'm joined by Brad Amundsen. Like I mentioned, he is a senior sales executive with our organization and has a wealth of experience adding Bill onto existing Sage Intacct customer environments. So together we'll walk through an overview of who Bill is today. And Brad will also follow up with a high-level demonstration to give you some visuals into the user experience as well. So as I mentioned, Bill's been in business for close to 20 years. Our founder and still CEO today, Renee Lacerte, has a mission of helping small, mid-sized businesses focus on their missions instead of some of these traditional manual or process-intensive tasks related to APAR, spend, and corporate credit card reconciliation. So we offer a full platform with those different modules. Not all are necessary to utilize when you begin your subscription journey with Bill. You can pick and choose what's most applicable to your business, but we do have a single user interface with these various modules available to you all, both in the web and mobile applications. A little bit of context, if you aren't familiar with our organization, like I mentioned, close to 20 years in business, publicly traded company, SOC 1, SOC 2, compliance certifications, offer a very secure platform when it comes to managing finances for your businesses. We have close to 500,000 actual subscriber clients, but also a very large network of B2B organizations that are accepting payments and sending payments through our platform. From a scale standpoint, since we've built this very large network of subscribers and payers and receivers over 20 years, we've become a very large money mover, close to $300 billion in total payment volume running through our payment network in 2024 calendar year. And that was across about 40 million transactions. So what this means is, yes, it's a lot of money movement, and yes, it's across a lot of customers, but we have to be very secure in terms of how we do that with our clients. So we have money transmitter licenses in all 50 states. We offer various payment modalities for your vendor bills to be able to make that process more efficient for your teams. As you can see on the bottom here, we work across multiple accounting platforms. As I mentioned, we are a alliance partner directly with Sage and Sage Intacct and maintain our own in-house built and maintained API deep connection sync to allow bilateral data to flow back and forth between both of our systems with Sage Intacct. We have a listing in the Sage Intacct marketplace. Don't feel like you need to go there for research. Brad and I are here directly for you, whether now or after our session today, to be personal resources for you if you need more information on our platform. But I want to break this down real quickly. And Jeff did a great job just moments ago talking through AI within the Sage Intacct environment. Bill has been using AI in our platform kind of behind the scenes, not necessarily visual to the user, for a good number of years, actually. And so when we talk about vendor bills in our AP process, when those bills come into the Bill platform, we're able to utilize AI-powered OCR and machine learning technologies to start to auto-code bills and learn your behaviors to alleviate what's normally manual data entry and a lot of lookup and data validation as your perhaps accounting teams are receiving large quantities of AP bills. So we do this with a high precise level of accuracy to make that AP process, even from the very onset of it, very quick and accurate to be more of a glance and a review of what the bill technology's done. Not We used to call it our platform worked with your teams, but now as we release more visual cues with our AI into the platform, it's going to be what is the bill platform doing for your teams? So anyways, moving along here, what our AP process does is breaks that bill capture process into 4 simple steps. Capture the bill, start to do the coding for your teams. We have very sophisticated approval workflow settings that we can incorporate into the platform based on a multitude of different criteria. And then, as I mentioned earlier, offer very secure and multimodal payment options for your teams to be able to not necessarily worry about capturing ACH banking credentials on behalf of your vendors, or know which of your vendors are accepting credit cards for their transactions and which ones do or don't charge an additional fee for accepting of credit cards. Our platform is really proficient at taking that workload off of AP teams to be able to understand all the different payment requirements that some of your vendors have. And then, as I mentioned, we have a deep sync that we maintain with Sage Intacct, so data flows back and forth and reconciliation becomes really clean when you're using a point solution like Bill that you're adding onto your Sage Intacct environment. So this is our core AP offering, and I'll give a high-level description of what our Bill corporate credit card and spend and expense platform offers as well. And then I'll hand things over to Brad here momentarily to actually show some of this in the user interface. So bill, spend, and expense. If you think about travel, purchasing that happens in the field for some of your users that might be out interacting with clients or on the job, credit card reconciliation can become a very burdensome task and process for finance teams. So what we do is offer a smart credit card, and I call it smart because it's actually associated and layered on top, married with a piece of software. So as you create card transactions, those transactions automatically flow right into the software application and start to build a real-time reconciliation of those transactions as they're occurring in real time. Users can snap a photo image of their receipt, and the AI starts to auto code those transactions and match them directly to that transaction as it came in from the card swipe. Beyond this, we offer a heck of a lot of controls and the ability to set spending limits, very granular or wide. So you have your line of credit, but how do you actually manage that line of credit efficiently across the business? So we can set very detailed controls around certain merchants that card holders are able to use and spend their cards against. Or if you have individuals that are traveling and they don't necessarily travel that often, maybe you're going to the Sage Future Conference, but other than that, you don't travel much throughout the course of the year. So normally we wouldn't necessarily issue a credit card to that particular individual for their expenditures on that trip, but we can do that now and set specific budgets and limits for what that individual might be able to utilize that card for while they're on that one-off trip. So it's really the ability to use the platform to control spend across the organization before it actually occurs. And then the efficiencies that are gained with the software application to make the reconciliation of those transactions across the business and all the various cardholders in real time. And again, the bilateral flow and data information that syncs from the bill, spend, and expense application into credit card transactions that post to Sage Intacct. If anyone is interested, Brad will run through a high-level demo just momentarily, but we have a really cool promo. Blackstone is actually a Bill customer. They use our software. And so we've been able to partner closely with them and offer a 28-inch Blackstone griddle for anyone who is interested in booking an individual demonstration of our platform after today's session. If you'd like, you can scan this QR code right now. After I pass the controls over to Brad to show the demo, I'll also put a link in the chat session that you all can save if you don't want to scan this QR code right now. But with that said, Brad, I will stop sharing here and allow you to pop up your screen to provide a demo.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate everybody joining today. My name is Brad Amundsen. I'm a senior account executive here at Bill that specializes in Intacct and our sync with Sage directly. I'm going to share my screen here, but I am going to go off camera. My background is I live in Portland, Oregon. I work out of our San Jose office, but I'm on the road quite a bit, and I am in Las Vegas currently for a show and having some internet difficulties this morning. We've got a pretty bad thunderstorm, so give me 1 second here. Hopefully everybody can see my screen okay there. So this is, I'm going to give you guys a very high level overview of what we do. If you guys are interested, like Brad said, in scheduling a more formal demo, we'll bring a solution consultant on the call and talk through a little bit more of the technicals and specifics to your application. But I wanted to be able to show you guys exactly kind of what you're looking at when you log into Bill. So this is going to be your login screen. It's going to take you right to an overview, and what you're going to be able to see. I apologize. Screen there. You're going to be able to see kind of your money in, money out, any approvals that are outstanding. You can see we've got some different people that have some approvals outstanding, 0 to 5 days, 6 to 10 days. But what it's going to do is give you a real truncated overview of everything. You also have the ability up here to click on the tasks and see any outstanding items applicable to your login. So I'm logged in as an administrator. I've got admin access similar to what a controller or maybe an AP manager might have. But we do have different levels and customizable views. So I'm going to take you guys to the inbox. I'm going to go through 4 quick steps. This is kind of where the AI taught OCR takes place that Brad was discussing earlier. So we've got an inbox where we're going to feed everything into. We've got a couple different ways we can get everything into the inbox. We're going to give you a dedicated email address at bill.com. You can customize it to whatever's available. So we can have vendors send them directly into you. We can forward them from an existing AP email address. If you've got vendors already sending you guys in, we can drag and drop them in from a separate screen. We also have the ability via a mobile app to take a photo and it can upload it into a PDF in real time. So we're going to take a standard invoice that has been sent into the inbox. I'm going to click enter bill, and it's going to take you to the bill creation screen. Now we've got a couple different things. Brad had mentioned the AI. So we're going to pre-populate all of that header level vendor data for you automatically. So as soon as you go in and click, your vendor is going to populate all the corresponding vendor related info, the invoice number. You're going to see a little green flag here. It's going to be reading directly off of the invoice. So there's 6 different flags here that have already pre-populated based on the information from the bill specifically. We also have the ability to click and capture. So you'll see down here where we are auto-coding the bill for you. It's already pre-populated based on the previous invoice. But if I need to, I can just click on this dollar amount and paste it right over onto the bill. So the need to key in the strokes has pretty much been eliminated. We also have the ability to auto route for approval the invoice. So you'll see right here, it's currently being sent to the executive team, which is a group of people. It'll be pushed out, and only one of them will need to approve the bill to move it to the next step. Now, if I go up here and I change marketing to catering, you'll notice that it automatically updates the approval. And that's because we have approval routing policies that we have set up so that depending on a department, location, a vendor, a dollar amount, we're going to try and auto approve these. And we can get as granular or as in depth with those as we need to. We can layer them. So maybe you have a multi-level approval in terms of the dollar amount, the vendor, however you guys set it up. We also have the ability to add a note on a time-stamped audit trail. So I can go in and tag somebody in our system. Avery, please check coding. And so when I send that through, that'll actually ping Avery. She'll get both a notification on her mobile as well as an email to go in and to check and update anything as necessary. And that audit trail cannot be modified. So at that point, we would go in and create the bill, which is going to take us, because it's a demo environment, I'm not going to go through and actually create it, but we're going to push that through and it's going to go into our payment screen. So we'll go into all payments. And so what we're going to do is be able to see all our outstanding payments. We're going to be able to see the amount due, the process date, the type of payment method, and then the status. We can go through and filter out. So if we want to filter, we'll go through payment status and we'll go, let's do scheduled so we can see what in the last 90 days. So we're going to filter through and you're going to see the payments that need to be sent out. You can click in to the vendor. You can see all the outstanding recent bills for that vendor, the payment status. You can send a reminder email if you need to invite them into the network. So we've got the ability to basically take your AP process from start to finish, and then we can push all that data, including the payments, back into Sage. And one thing I did want to share with you guys as well is the sync matrix for Sage Intacct. This is available in the help screen at build.com. I can send a copy in, but this shows you guys what we sync back and forth with the bilateral sync that Brad was referencing earlier. We do a two-way sync chart of accounts, two-way with departments, locations, classes, employees, projects, and jobs, one way into bill, they're read-only, custom dimensions, and bank account balance. For the payables, we can sync the vendors, the unpaid bills. Any draft bills, partially or fully paid bills, it's a one-way sync to us. The bill payments, unapplied vendor credits, we can go two ways. AP funds, transfers, voids, bill attachments, one ways. We also have the functionality to do receivables through Intacct. So if you guys originate the invoices, if you build them in Intacct, we can actually sync them over and send them out for payments as well. So I know I just gave you guys a very, very high level overview. If you guys are interested in scheduling an appointment, don't hesitate to scan that QR code, reach out to Brad Powell or myself directly, and we'll be happy to take you through a tailored demo with a solution consultant and give you a little bit more in depth as to what we can do. Brad, I will pass it back over to you.
Nice job, Brad. Flana, we have a polling question as well, if you feel it's appropriate to pivot over to that real quick.
Absolutely. I also dropped a link to that promo in the chat too, if you will see it there. Okay, let's get poll number 2 going. 1 second here. Let me get this backed up. 1 minute. Oh. Here we go. Okay. What are some of your biggest challenges when it comes to your AP process? Supplier onboarding, document data entry, approvals, or payments? Okay, I'm seeing people start to answer here quickly. Actually, we're already up to 85% participation. let it go for a few more seconds here. I want to thank Brad and Brad again for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll and share the results. Okay, it looks like document data entry, approvals, and payments, and no one chose supplier onboarding. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and let Jordan take over. It looks like he's going to be talking to us today about dashboards.
Hello, everybody. Actually, let me share my camera. Sorry. Hello, everybody. My name is Jordan Hagan. I'm a Sage Intacct Senior Consultant with Oasis. I've been here almost 4 years, been an Intacct for about 3.5 or so. And today I'm going to show you just a few things on dashboards. And the biggest thing for me is you may have seen some of this, but ultimately I want to maybe pique your interest to, reach out to us again after this to say, hey, I want to realign and our dashboards or maybe our needs have changed. And I want to show you just a few things that you can do personally, but ultimately, get with our team to help you create your dashboards to fit your needs. So one thing to note, as you see here, I have my demo dashboard screens currently up, and this is the Quick Start CFO. You all should have a set of Quick Start ones similar to these. They may vary, but I'm going to start on the CFO one here. So one thing to note, it's usually early on that we address this. I wanted to address my preferences. My preferences, you can make this dashboard your home screen when you log in. So the ultimate goal is to get this dashboard set up, and some of the stuff I'll show you today, that you have this dashboard open all the time and you work from your dashboard. So I'm going to show you how that can be possible today. But when you go up to your name here and go to My Preferences, if you scroll down to the display section, there's a personalized appearance here. If you haven't changed this, of course, it will say default, which is going to be that home screen with all the, updates and links for help and support. But you would want to change this to dashboard, and then you would select that dashboard that you want to start on. So the next time you log in, it will be the first thing you see when you log in. So I wanted to show that briefly there. Let me go back to my dashboards. So one of the biggest things with dashboards is what we call performance cards. So this section here in the middle are called performance cards, and this is quick drillable information based on account groups that you can drill into and see data right on your board that's important to you. So if you click into this revenue one here, it pops up a report. And then it gives you all your, once again, this is all based on account groups. There is standard account groups within Intacct, but there's also, we can kind of do custom account groups based on your specific needs. We can set those up. But this one is a standard revenue account group here. And as you see, here's that data for the current month and prior month. So let me take a step back actually. As you see currently, similar to what Jeff stated, demo data is very old in here. So I do have a filter currently set on for December. And when I click into here, based on the setup of the performance card, which I'll show you in a second, it gives you a report based on we're doing against prior month. So it has prior month and this month revenue. And then just to show a little bit more of the drill down capabilities, if I click into some data here, it takes you straight into the general ledger report. And then with one more click, you can see that this is an invoice here. You can get into directly into what that actually was. So here is that invoice that was created. So within 3 clicks, if things are set up properly, you can get to the source of your revenue and take a look as needed, or if things need to be changed, if you have that access, of course. you can see that data here with 3 clicks. So let me back that up here. And once again, this is just your complete understanding of how performance cards can be created through account groups. And like I said, that's a whole nother conversation our team could have with you if you needed something custom or if the standard account groups work for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a cost of revenue performance card. So we're going to come in here, given the proper permissions, of course. Let us know if you don't have them, but you'll be able to add a component. So there is 6 different types. As you see, one's called performance card. We're going to do that here. I'm going to make this bigger for you all. And then we're going to do cost of revenue. And then costs. Here's that account group, cost of revenue. And then all the ones we currently had set up were current month, currency, rounding to the whole number, or actually no rounding I had on there. And then the period, this is that comparison part on the bottom there. We were doing the prior period, so it's going to do the prior month based on your reporting period that you select. And then we want to actually change this to red. So if it exceeds the prior month for cost of revenue, the performance, it will be a red. And then we can do a percent change or a period difference. I think we had them all set for percent change. And then also if they're, to note there is filters, you can, disallow the filtering, the dashboard filtering, or if you wanted to make a performance card a specific department or location specific, you can filter that on here and not let the dashboard filtering touch it. But that is an option as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And this will populate in here. So cost of revenue, it's 23% more than the prior month. So we got a red arrow there. Also, you can move these performance cards as needed as well. But as you see, we have that here. And once again, you can filter within the dashboard as well if you need to specific, whatever filter we select. This one has location. If you have departments, you can filter on there as well. We would just need to add it. Once again, talking to having this as your home screen and work from it, I want to show task and of course reports. So as we are in the CFO role here, if they are the task I wanted to show today was, if you have an approval process set up, that you can have your approval processes right here in your My Task. So you log in, you click, let's just say you have a payment or one of the AP manager selected a bill to be paid. It is now going to go into your AP approval payments, right? So you could simply click here and a window will pop up and then you have your approved payments right here. So you can go in and review this, approve this, click approve or just singular click approve there. And then you're right back into your dashboard. So just to show, another how this My Task is, like I said, you should have this default one in here, but I will drill in and add a task to show you how that works. So within the component type, it would be general, and then we would have custom navigation. So, and then you would name this one's My Task. You can name it, whatever you want it to be. So the naming is going to be on the left here, and then all the possible options that you have to select something is to the right here. So let me see. Let me select. We're going to do journal entries. Let me go in here. And then save that. So now I added that to my custom navigations. Like I said, you would have to review, as you saw, there's quite a bit of a list on there to do things. You could come in here. This is going to take you to your journals. And then you can come in and create a transaction. Like I said, this is the new view here, but you can come in and create straight from here. And now you still have your dashboard open, but you're working within another window from your dashboard. All right. And then another important task. So you have your task there, but then you want to, maybe you run different reports. You could have a report section similar here. It is a custom navigation created. And for example, I'm going to do a customer aging report. Now, one thing to know, as you see, there's report center, financial reports. You can't individually put financial reports on here, but you can put custom reports and subledger related reports, such as the customer aging report. But for whatever reason, you can't do financial reports straight here. You have to go through like Report Center or financial reports, and it will take you to that screen. So if I come in here, let me double check. Let me make this a little bigger. Customer did not like me typing. Can type AR. Oops, I passed it up. So customer aging report, we select that. I think it selected it. Load that in there. But did not like that. 1 second. Customer aging. There we go. Save that in here. Now you have that customer aging report on your dashboard that you can just click this link here. It's going to take you right into it. And then you can just view that straight from your dashboard. And as you see, another function, of course, any report that you're in, for the most part, will have this add to dashboard function. So you can, even put the report within the dashboard as well. And then one more thing here I wanted to show was more so switching to a dashboard to show adding of a graph. Don't really talk about them too much, but wanted to demonstrate what that could look for you. And it's more so like by a location or department, maybe makes sense, but more of a graphical representation. So I switched over to another department manager support here, and I'm going to add a operating expense by location report. So going back to that add component part, we're going to go down here to report, and then we will keep this on financial report, and then we would drop down to the component. So go down here. Second. Sometimes they're one second, where'd it go? Revenue. lost it there. Sorry about this. Just double check that one. And then we'll allow this here. So, or actually, sorry, I had the wrong one. That's my mistake there. Meant to switch that to chart. So yes, I was on the wrong thing there. So come in here, grab this operating expense by location, and then save this here. And as you see, it puts it in the top left here, but I want to grab this here. And there can be changes to this report. I think I need to change this here, bar, so I could show you a little bit better, more so colors, by location. So, you know, depending on how many locations you have, of course, you can filter this based on like a location group, but I wanted to show a graphical representation. As you see, if you highlight over, you can see the operating expense by location, but more in a graphical form. So I wanted to show that functionality to you there. And I think I'm about at time. Alana, if you wanted to throw up that poll question.
Absolutely. Okay, we are to our third poll of the day. So let me go ahead and launch this. Okay. Do your Intacct users actively manage tasks or data through the Intacct dashboards? See, we love dashboards and couldn't live without them. We have played around with dashboards but aren't fully engaged yet. Or I just now found out what a dashboard is. That's okay too. We're at 71% of participation right now. And I'm going to let it roll. Okay. Go for a few more seconds. Oh, we're at 100% participation. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. I'm going to end this poll and share the results. Okay, it looks like most of you all have played around with dashboards but aren't fully engaged yet. So there's lots of opportunity there for learning and improvement. I'm going to stop sharing this. And end here. Okay. And I think that it is time now for our friends at Velixo.
Hi, everyone. Hope everybody is doing very well. Well, my name is Christian Gary. I'm here at Partner Account Manager at Velixo, and really the idea today is to show you Velixo, what are the kind of pain points we address, and yeah, so maybe what we can do is start with just a kind of brief PowerPoint, and after that, what I would like to do is jump right into the demo so you can see the solution firsthand. But what I'll do now, I'm just gonna share my screen, and hopefully this works, as I'm not as accustomed with Zoom, but we're gonna try right now. Okay, so there you are. Share.
Perfect.
Yeah, hopefully I need to expand a little bit more here. There you go. You can see my screen, I believe. Vilana, can you confirm?
And
All good,
everything
right?
looks great.
Okay, well, thank you again. And yeah, so really the idea here, and I like keeping things very simple. I'm gonna show you first this PowerPoint. We're gonna kind of highlight some of the key features and benefits. Also, just give you a bit of background on Velixo, and yeah, after that we'll talk about the demo itself. We're gonna do a trial balance, and really, so what is Velixo, right? So the first thing is Velixo is really a live connector between Sage Intacct and Excel. We truly believe that, you know, Excel is one of the most utilized softwares in the world by many accountants. And we're all about really embracing Excel, but obviously working with an Excel that is dynamic, that's well connected to your ERP system. So Velixo is really kind of that live Excel-based reporting solution. It would allow you to bring all that Sage Intacct data directly to life with our environment Excel that we know very well. And then we can also push any data back into Intacct. We can easily create live reports and, you know, or report on any object and so forth. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna move to the next slide. Just as a little background on Velixo, we're founded in 2017. The company was founded by Gab Michaud. We're today the best performing app in the Sage Intacct marketplace from a reporting standpoint. We're a multi-award winner company, and we have a 4.9-star review on the G2 platform. We surpassed already the 2,600 mark in terms of customers. We're already have a pretty good footprint across the globe, not just in North America, South America, but also Europe, as Intacct is quite present there, and as well Australia. South Africa as well. I didn't mention that. From a support, we really like to help every single customer out of the gate, as we truly believe that the first few months are crucial for them to fully adopt the solution. So me personally, I'm very proud of the team that we have behind to support every customer, not just from a customer support perspective, but also from a customer success and so forth. We also have professional services if, let's say, you needed some help in building specific reports. The next slide here, really the goal for us at Velixo is really to help you maximize your ERP. Intacct is a wonderful ERP. It's really kind of the backbone of your business. But we truly believe that when it comes to slicing and dicing data, a lot of folks do like using Excel. They like the agility. And with Velixo, we can really boost that experience and help you get access to data quicker, insights, and of course, improving your overall processes. Here are the typical challenges that we see for the folks that have an ERP system but might not be using Velixo. Okay, the number one challenge I will say is the limited flexibility. When you have an ERP system and you have Excel, you always have that kind of limited flexibility. It makes it kind of difficult to create the reports the way you want. And all that, what's going to contribute to is just going to add complexity to decision-making process. The next challenge, we know it's when you work with you know, an ERP and you have Excel, they don't speak to each other. There's no real integration, if you will. So if you're constantly clicking the export to Excel button and kind of recreating those reports over and over, we kind of like to call it copy and waste. Just because by the time you finish in doing all the kind of formatting and all that, all your data is pretty much going to be outdated. And of course, the last challenge is, you know, the slow data entry process. So if you manually entering data into your ERP, let's say you build your budgets on Excel, but you actually have to manually enter the data. One, it's super time consuming. That probably going to lead to human mistakes. And at the end of the day, that's definitely probably going to harm the quality of your data. Here, the last slide, I won't spend much time as we can actually go through the demo itself, but kind of want to highlight some of the kind of functionalities and features and benefits. Okay, so we are a very lean Excel add-in, very easy to install. And the good thing is Velixo doesn't require any extra costs in terms of implementations and so forth. The technology that we work with, it's purely API. We don't do data warehousing. So as a result, you will get your data always in real time. We do provide pretty huge library of multiple pre-built templates for companies that are looking to get a great head start or even get the templates that they want to use. They're ready to go. Those templates, they're also fully customizable. And again, as mentioned, we have a team behind us that can help you. If you don't have the bandwidth, let's say, to kind of tweak them or build them based on your needs, right? So in terms of our integration with Intacct, we're deeply integrated into Intacct. Obviously, we surpass all the security measures, we're SOC 2 compliant, and if you have, let's say, specific access to certain areas in Intacct from a data standpoint, those gonna be fully mirrored into Velixo. Access levels, user permissions, always gonna be fully mirrored in Velixo. We're fully bidirectional, okay? I mentioned earlier on, we can pull data into Excel, but we also can push data back into Intacct. And from a user experience standpoint, at the end of the day, the learning curve of Velixo, it's not as steep. As we know, changing environments, we're still gonna be on Excel. So if you're already quite comfortable with Excel, which I think most of us are, the learning curve is really minimal. Okay, so you don't need to bug your IT team to help you build specific reports. Majority really of the folks that we work with, they're able to get ramp up on Velixo fairly quick. And what I'll do now, I'm just gonna switch gears and we're gonna actually do the demo itself. Okay, so okay, so I do believe now I'm sharing my screen again. And I'm just gonna minimize this and I'll be showing you another screen right now, which is Excel. Nothing has changed in that sense. The only thing that we will need to do as kind of the first time, we'll probably have to install Velixo. And this is what exactly gonna do right now. I'm gonna show you how to install Velixo. So on the home section over here, we just need to go on the right-hand side into the add-ins and we can click on more add-ins. And what will happen is that the Office portal will open up, okay? Now, we'll just type in here Velixo, go on the search bar, and then we're gonna click on add. I would say in a matter of seconds, not just a few minutes, Velixo will be installed on top of Excel, and you're probably going to be able to see the logo on the right-hand side in here. We also see over here in green, the Velixo Next toolbar with all the different functionalities that I will be walking you through. And I will say the next piece will be to kind of set up that connection with your ERP system, okay? There is a button called here Connection Manager, so we click on it and it kind of already build the connection. Just want to make sure that we tested the internet connection and so forth. So we were good to go. But when you click here on the edit section, you'll be able to pick and choose the ERP system that you're using. And then we're going to be using the same credentials that you'll be using for Sage Intacct. Okay. We'll have to pick and choose also a name for the connection itself, as we'll be referencing this name when we actually building functions and formulas. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later. I won't click on connect again because we are already connected. As you can see here, the little check mark can confirm that the connection is valid. So as mentioned, really the goal is to show you how we can bring that data from Intacct into Excel. And to do so, what we're gonna do is build a trial balance, a very simple report from scratch, so you can see how we can pull that data fairly easily. The first piece, and again, I did create already, and I put some parameters, and we kind of put some range of dates from 2, and we also pick one location. I put location 100. And we have here the account codes. Okay, with the account codes, we can copy, paste them from a spreadsheet, but obviously we kind of want to avoid that, as that will create, or we can bring errors in here. What we're gonna do actually is something much faster, much more efficient, and since we are already in Sage Intacct connected in the ERP, we go into Insert and Insert Chart of Accounts. We're gonna click on Insert, so we can bring all our account codes in a quickly manner. The next piece, we'll say that's when we're gonna use our very first Excel formula or Velixo formula. And not different than when we use Excel, we'll type in equal, and we're also gonna type in SI for Sage Intacct, so we can bring all the Sage Intacct formulas in. The first formula that we see, account name, kind of self-explains what we actually look into including here and bring all these account names. So we're just gonna click on the formula itself, and we're just now gonna follow and add the following arguments. The first argument that we see will be the connection name. When we created the connection on the connection manager, I did mention, hey, let's pick a name that's short and sweet here, Sage, 4 letters. That's the reason why. So what I'll do, I'm just gonna type in Sage. And next, what I'll do as well is bring all our account names, which will be, sorry, I don't know, I'm having some issues here. Maybe my screen. Okay, we're gonna do A6. And I'm just gonna do an hyphen so we can bring the entire column. There we go. So we're able to bring all our account names fairly quick as well. And let's say here, and someone cannot change your name of an account, or someone adds a new account in Sage Intacct. I'm just gonna go here into Intacct. I'm gonna go into Home, Applications, General Ledger Accounts. And let's say someone changes the name of an account in Sage Intacct. I'm gonna say hi Oasis. We're gonna change that name. I'm gonna click on Save. And the only thing we need to do is once we created a report and we need a latest refreshment, we're going to refresh current sheet. And we get to see how Velixo syncs with whatever it's on Intacct. There you go. Hi Oasis. Okay. Same happens if we add a new account like at 10,011, it will show up in here. Okay. Now for balance, okay, we're gonna use another formula. I'm gonna show you a different route. As I'm sure everybody knows, we can go into Insert Function. And over here, we're just gonna type in SI to get all the Sage Intacct formula showing up. All right. So the formula that we're looking to bring in here will be the closing balance one. We just have to scroll down till we find that formula itself. We click on it and we're able to see all the different arguments that are required. But again, if you're not sure, that's totally okay. We do actually give you always access to a wonderful tool, which is our full resource center. And when you are on the formula itself and you click on it, you have the option to get more education on the formula itself and get all the support that you need in order to successfully build the formula. I'm going to go into help on this function. And what will happen, the hyperlink, it's going to take us to Auto Center itself, where we're going to be able to read more about the formula, the syntax, what are the typical arguments that are required, but also multiple examples for you to get the best context possible and how to successfully use and maximize the formula. I'm just going to go back into our screen, and we're just going to continue adding the following arguments. So we're going to click on OK. And what we'll do, same thing, we're going to bring the connection name. We did say at the beginning the connection name was Sage, so we put Sage. And then what we'll do is we're going to bring the account code in here. And then we'll do is the from date over here. And what we'll do is also the to date. And then we also set the location ID. Okay. Again, keep in mind, we can bring anything that you want from Intacct, such as books, dimensions, user-defined dimensions, whatever you want, okay? But for the purpose of this demo today and building this trial balance, we won't need any of those. So what I'll do now, just click on OK. And we get to see how Velixo is pulling the information from Intacct, again in real time. And there you go. We're just going to add here the $sign. And now we can pull the intercolumn so we get to see every single balance for every single account, specifically for this range of dates and this location. Now, we are on a live Excel sheet. If we change here the date ranges, the numbers will change, everything will update, the same with the location, okay? And since we're doing this trial balance, what I'll do now, just gonna copy and paste the column to bring more information. And we're gonna say, okay, instead of location 100 over here, we're gonna do location 200, so we can bring all the data in real time. And we're also gonna do the same for location 300, okay? I just changed locations, but again, you also can change the dates, so you get all information that you need refreshed. And since we're doing this trial balance, I'm gonna kind of finish off this with the consolidation column. And what we'll do now is, since we're on Excel, we're gonna use a very simple Excel formula, which is equal C6 plus D6 plus E6. And there you go. We put the entire column, and here is our trial balance completed. Okay. Now you save this report, and again, you don't have to export to Excel and then format everything, work on that static data. Those times are gone, where now you can just create this report, save it on one tab, save the next report on the next tab. And then whenever you have the need to see your latest numbers on the report itself, we can go and refresh the current sheet, the entire workbook, or all open workbooks, okay? And now what I'll do, I'm gonna switch gears, and we're gonna talk about the actual financial template stack, okay? And as mentioned, at Velixo, there's the tool itself will allow you to get that connection live, but also we provide you with libraries or multiple pre-built templates based on the best use cases that we've been kind of working with throughout the years with our customers. We made more industry specific. So in our kind of resource center, you'll be able to see that we have now printable templates for a construction or non-for-profit and many more. In front of our eyes, we have a P&L, okay? We also have a P&L. Profit. Just to know. But on this specific P&L, I will say we can actually switch locations. We can aggregate all the locations that we want. Globally, just in US, the same applies with departments. And here is the date as of, okay? If we change the date, kind of the numbers will refresh as well based on the, and now let's say we see over here, number piques our interest under opens 110, and we kind of would like to know and to understand what are the accounts that contribute to over $90,000. So we're gonna open again the Velixo NX, click on the Velixo NX toolbar, and we're gonna go and click into drill down. We're gonna say, okay, we're gonna drill down on this specific cell just to see what's behind that number. And now we get to see Velixo working, pulling that data from Intacct, and then a new Excel tab spreadsheet opens up. So we get to see now all the accounts that contribute to 90,510. But now let's say we're gonna take this another step forward and look at, okay, what are the accounts or what's the specific account that we want here, sorry, and what are the transactions that contribute to, let's say, $36,000 under professional fees expense. We're gonna click on view transactions. And hopefully soon we get again Velixo to pull that data from Intacct. Okay, so now we get to see all the different transactions that contribute to $36,000. But now let's say we want to take this another step forward. Okay, and there's a great, amazing thing about Velixo, the flexibility to go from any Excel cell straight to the source in Intacct. So what we're gonna do is now this specific bill, $1,500, we're gonna say, okay, view batch, click on view batch, and that take us into Sage Intacct. Okay. It takes us exactly at the bill level, and we can actually go and see the invoice itself by just clicking on the clipboard. So this, I will say, is one of the most popular functionalities that we have. Obviously, we have other ones that are very critical, but this will allow you to be very agile between your Excel sheet and Intacct, so you can navigate between the both in a fairly quick manner. Okay. Now, the next piece I want to see and show you the next functionality here will be kind of the distribution list. Okay. I'm just going to bring the tab here called distribution list, hopefully in here. And this is just a great tool to share reports across your company for, just the sake of sharing, but also for the sake of collaborating. If you're actually working with different peers and you want to work together on the same report, well, there's a cool way of being able to kind of share those reports where you can actually pick and choose the format of the report. You want to kind of just share a very static report just for viewing, or do you want to actually share a report that's fully dynamic with all the embedded formulas that will be very Velixo pertinent or Excel pertinent, or and so forth, until we just pick the fully static. Okay, we can pick and choose the file name, the tab selection again, and here we'll be able to put all the different emails. Okay, and then envision this tab, you can have multiple tabs. Okay, you can have a tab just for your leadership team, another tab just for the accounting team. Anyways, you can duplicate those tabs and kind of make them more your own. In here, for example, we can have all the emails for all your team in finance, and we just kind of put a quick subject, a body, and what we can do is share and send it out through Velixo that will kind of push it into Outlook. And then let's say every Monday morning, your team will be able to have the visibility of a specific report that you all guys can work together. Okay. The next piece I will say very popular as well is the write back functionality, and that will allow us to push any data that we want from Excel into Intacct. Okay, so here's kind of the write back, and just to give a bit of context, we have two tiers of write back. More the kind of entry level that will allow you to write back anything related with journal transactions, budgets, project forecast. And the more advanced tier will be the universal write back, which is to write back anything outside of those three. For example, AP bills, they're not on the list, so that will be considered universal write back, or custom fields, for example, that you have in Intacct that will apply under the universal write back. Okay, so just to give you a bit of kind of better context now, I'm just gonna click on budget, and I'm gonna say we're gonna actually do our budgets for 2026. We're gonna click on insert. And as you can see, a new template opens up. Okay, this template will allow you to fill in all the details of your budgets at all different periods. And whenever you completed this, you can actually easily now say, okay, I want this to be pushed back into Intacct. So we do here perform write back, and all that data will be pushed into your ERP. Okay. The next piece, I kind of want to show you now. Sorry, my window, it's a bit small, so I can see the bottom. But now it's really, again, going back into the write back itself. I want to show you this example more in real action. With this clear example, this is actually our very first company that put a request through the help section, submit an idea, and they were doing a lot of manual work, and they were doing a lot of manual entries into Intacct. And they really asked us if we could build something that will help them automate all that. Okay, so we look into it, and fairly quick, we're able to code this. And as a result, all our customers now can benefit of the write back functionality. So this is a liability insurance company, and liability insurance companies, they work with something called a GL rate. Okay, GL rate, that's a name for this specific rate, but it's a rate that kind of fluctuates quite a little bit. And this is why every time there's a fluctuation, they kind of had to kind of push the information into Intacct, which could be pretty time consuming, and obviously quite difficult at times because a lot of mistakes can happen. So with write back, we can automate all that. And what I'll do is here it says 325. Okay, I'm just going to change it to 10, and you'll see that the total accruals will update in here. Okay, now that our Excel sheet is ready to go, we're going to say, okay, now instead of manually entering every single field, what we're going to do is we're going to push this information into Intacct. So we're going to say, okay, let's perform the write back. Click on perform write back, current sheet. And what will happen next is the Sage Intacct opens up, a journal entry gets created, transaction number, and here we get to see all the numbers that we had on Excel represented into Intacct. Okay, now I'm just gonna make a quick comparison so you can see exactly that the numbers have fallen kind of the right field. And we get to see over here that we have 7657, 1642, 1642, 3549, 3549. Okay. Now, small detail, when we actually push that data into Intacct, we did put or leave it here as should we post it, and we said no. Okay. We did send this information into Intacct as a draft. And just as best practices, we do recommend the teams at the beginning to do that. But also we know companies sometimes have some sort of an approval process. So they have teams doing this as a kind of draft, and then someone higher up to kind of confirm and officially post it. When you look at here into Intacct, you'll be able to see that we're still as a draft mode. And once we've verified everything is okay, we're able now to kind of click on post. So the transaction will be fully official into our ERP. Okay. Now, the last little piece I kind of want to show you is the actual resource center. We cannot touch on the resource center later early on when I show you the formulas, and we can find every single function formula in here. But you know, as a kind of new user or new customer, you have all the resources that you need. Again, you have a big team behind us. Customer service, customer success, but here is where everything lives in. Okay, and let's say you want to get started with Velixo and you don't know exactly how to do so. We go click on Get Started, and then here we just kind of follow our steps on how to install Velixo itself, on how to set up the connection, and it's everything very well explained in the resource center. Okay, and another thing here I kind of want to highlight again is the templates. They're all pre-built for you. We always can customize them, help them customize those. And here's where you find, you know, all the different templates that are more financial report templates, where you can actually say cash flow forecast, budget based. We click on it so you can read more about it. You can actually, you know, see also a visual of what the report itself will look like, and you'll be able to download it in here further down. And once you have your license and connection ready, basically you'll be able to easily pull data and push data back into Intacct. Okay.
Yeah.
And that will be pretty much everything. I think now I'll pass it to Filana, or I don't know what's next.
It's me for a quick poll. Thank you so much, Christian. We appreciate
you very
having
much.
you today. I'm going to launch this right here. Our last poll of the day, guys. Here it goes. What's your biggest reporting challenge with Sage Intacct today? Data consolidation across entities, limited customization in reports, manual exports and updates, or learning curve for reporting tools? Okay, looks like we have 35, 50%, 50 up 71. Okay, I can't keep up. I'm not going to keep counting. I'm going to give it a few more seconds to see if we can get to 100% participation. I want to give everyone a chance. This is the last poll of the day. If you want to get CPE, if you want to get entered to win that JBL speaker, you complete all 4 of these polls, and then the survey, it's going to pop up at the very end today. And then you'll also have a chance in the follow-up email that comes out from Garen. That'll have the reporting as well if you missed any of this or you want to watch it or share it with someone. You'll have a chance to complete the survey then. I'm going to share this poll right now. I'm ending it and sharing the results. Okay, it looks like most people said learning curve for reporting tools. Thank you. And I'm going to pass it over to Garrett.
All right. Well, thank you all. I know we are close on time, so I'm not going to take too much of your time, but just want to thank all of you for coming today. One of the things that I want to talk about quickly is just our optimized membership. for clients that are interested in a support agreement with Oasis. These have evolved over the last 4 or 5 years, and we really have listened to our clients and really been able to come up with a really good agreement that is tailored towards exactly what you need in your system. And so if we have not had an opportunity to talk about that with you, would love an opportunity to do that. This is if you're in project, at the end of a project, we meet with a consultant, we talk about what post go live is going to look like. We look at budgeting for your system after go live in the next 1, 2, and 3 years. So it's really just a good opportunity to be able to work with you and walk the next step after a project. And if you're already using Intacct, it's an opportunity to meet with me and my team, talk through about where you've been, where you want to go, things that you want to do, and we'd love the opportunity to do that. Additionally, just want to talk a little bit here quickly about partnering with client success. One of the things that has been a pain point for some of our clients has been adding users in their Intacct system. So want to just, throw out here that me and my team are a resource for you when it comes to adding users. There is a little bit of complexity to that. I know we talk about it in project but when a user is added into Intacct, it is automatically billed. So if you add a user in Intacct and you haven't removed the user you're removing, then you're going to get invoiced for that user. So there's some steps that I'm happy to help walk along so that there aren't any unexpected charges or things with that as well. Additionally, I'll be reaching out to everyone before your renewals. There's Intacct has a 90, 60, 30-day program that they want us to follow so that all of the renewals are completed 30 days in advance, so that if there's any changes or anything that's needed to your system, that we're able to do that. So I will be working with you all on that. Also just want to say, hey, the client success is what we're here for, is clients to work with you all. We can schedule business reviews, talk about best practices. We've had some great third parties here on this today. We manage those relationships. So if there's things that you're looking for in the system that you don't have now, love to talk with you about that. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help however we can. I will say that I believe we are out of time, so I don't want to take any more of your time today. But if you could definitely complete the survey at the end if you need the CPE, and also to enter to win the JBL speaker. It is a really nice speaker. And if you have questions or follow-up that you are interested in, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to help out however I can. And I appreciate you all attending today.